Immigration. By focusing on immigration, Trump put pressure on Republicans to reject a bipartisan border deal. He also visited the southern border to advocate for his strict immigration policies. Trump promised to execute the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, to use the Alien Enemy Act to expel gang members, and to stop issuing visas to Hamas sympathizers during the Israel-Hamas conflict. Second Amendment. During the 2023 National Rifle Association Institute for Legislative Action Leadership Forum, Trump promised to overturn Biden's executive order that targeted the firearms industry on his first day in office. He also vowed to protect citizens' Second Amendment rights and to push Congress to enact reciprocity for concealed carry. Equity. In a campaign video, Trump declared that he would cancel Biden's equity executive order and fire employees who had been employed to carry out the strategy. He also promised that he would form a special team to quickly investigate and undo any measures performed under Biden's equity agenda. Additionally, Trump promised to implement his 2020 executive order, if elected, outlawing the use of racial and sexual stereotypes in the federal government. Education. In a September 2023 campaign video, Trump outlined his plans to dismantle the Department of Education and return control of education to the states, saying that they will do a better job of raising our children. He also promised to empower parents in decision-making regarding their children's education, suggesting funding preferences for schools, granting parental authority over principals, doing away with teacher tenure, and cutting back on administrative roles. Economy. During a speech at the Black Conservative Federation's Honors Gala in South Carolina, the former president promised to extend the tax cuts from his 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, with a focus on the individual income tax breaks. He has also talked about lowering the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%. "I will make the Trump tax cuts the largest tax cut in history. We make it permanent and give you a new economic boom," the former president said. Drug cartels. During his second term, the former president made fighting drug cartels a top priority. He proposed legislation that would have executed drug smugglers and human traffickers. He also promised to use naval embargoes to disrupt the cartels' financial networks and to target the leadership of the cartels with special forces stationed within the Department of Defense. Health care. On Truth Social in addition, in a June 2023 campaign video, Trump promised to reinstate an executive order to align pharmaceutical prices with those of other developed nations, signaling his resolve to reform pharmaceutical policies. He also vowed to replace the Affordable Care Act, emphasizing his administration's focus on superior healthcare, and highlighting prioritizing health over cost in order to deliver a top-tier healthcare plan globally. Justice system. Trump announced his intention to name a special prosecutor to investigate allegations against Joe Biden and the Biden family, promising to destroy them. He also promised to use the Department of Justice to target critics and former allies to overhaul the legal system by firing radical Marxist prosecutors. Crime. The deep state offense in two campaign videos from February 2023. In addition to pledging to launch civil rights investigations into the offices of radical left prosecutors, Trump threatened to deploy federal law enforcement to restore peace in cities controlled by violent criminals if Marxist prosecutors failed to prosecute crimes. He also urged Congress to reinstate law and order in Washington, D.C. Foreign policy. Maintaining his criticism of nations that are members of NATO in addition to expressing contempt for the collective defense clause of the alliance and suggesting that Russia be given free rein and spending caps were not fulfilled, Trump also emphasized his role in reviving NATO and insisted that member countries make equitable financial commitments. To put an end to never-ending wars and stop lobbyists from influencing military decisions, Trump promised to remove what he called warmongers, frauds, and failures from senior government positions as well as to quickly end the war in Ukraine upon winning the presidency. Fresh cities. New city, flying cars. Trump suggested in a few campaign videos that he would charter 10 new cities on federal land, concentrating on areas with the best development proposals to bring back manufacturing, economic opportunities, and affordable housing. His goal was to spark the American imagination and provide opportunities for home ownership and the American dream. In a second administration, Trump also stressed spearheading the development of vertical takeoff and landing vehicles with the goal of keeping China from controlling air mobility innovation and using this technology to improve rural areas' lot in life. Electric vehicles. Trump pledged to overturn new Environmental Protection Agency car pollution regulations, claiming that this would push electric cars to the forefront of the market by 2032. The CR attacked Biden's electric vehicle policy, claiming that they would hurt the U.S. auto industry. On his first day in office, Trump promised to reverse Biden's electric vehicle mandate and repeal restrictions that he felt were harmful to American auto workers. Energy. In a victory speech in Des Moines, Iowa, Trump emphasized plans to expedite federal drilling permits and leases. He also reaffirmed his commitment to drilling without delay, saying at a rally in South Carolina in February that he would remove restrictions on American natural gas exports. Trump has outlined plans to lower energy prices by increasing domestic production. Gender care. In a campaign video, Trump announced his plans to issue an executive order cutting programs promoting gender transitions and to urge Congress to stop federal funding for gender-affirming procedures. He also declared that he would revoke every Biden policy that promoted chemical castration and sexual mutilation of youth, and that he would ask Congress to send him a bill outlawing the practice in all 50 states. Under his administration, Trump stressed, hospitals and healthcare professionals providing young people with gender-affirming care would not be able to meet government health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare. Trade. Trump presented the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, which calls for reciprocal duties if other nations impose tariffs on the U.S., at a rally in South Carolina. He promised to slap harsh sanctions on China and other trade violators, saying that it's called "You Screw Us and We Screw You." In a 2023 campaign video, Trump reaffirmed this promise to put pressure on other nations to remove their tariffs. He also suggested enacting an America First trade agenda that would include base tariffs on imports and steps to limit Chinese ownership of U.S. infrastructure for national security concerns. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like our channel for more enthusiastic content.